Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really big topic, corporate burnout.
It certainly is widespread.
Yeah, and drawing from the sources you shared, our mission is to explore how yoga and meditation might offer a way back, a
hmm
path to career revitalization.
Exactly. It's more than just feeling tired.
Right. The World Health Organization actually calls burnout chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. That sounds serious, and it affects so many people.
Mm.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Many of us feel stressed, but what is burnout specifically? How do bodies like the WHO or, say, the Mayo Clinic describe it?
Well, the WHO points to three main things: feelings of energy depletion or just exhaustion. Then there's increased mental distance from your job, maybe cynicism or negativity about it.
Okay.
And third, reduced professional efficacy, feeling like you're just not getting things done effectively.
Mm-hmm.
The Mayo Clinic sort of adds to that, mentioning feelings of uselessness, powerlessness, and even emptiness. It paints a picture of being completely drained.
That sounds heavy.
Yeah.
And for you personally, maybe not you specifically, but for someone listening, what are those telltale signs they might notice? Our sources mention different types.
Yeah, definitely. Emotionally, it could be things like ongoing sadness or maybe irritability, snapping easily.
Right.
Physically, you might see headaches, changes in sleeping too much or too little, or just chronic weakness.
Wow.
And mentally, difficulty focusing is a big one, or maybe persistent self-doubt creeping in. It really hits you on all levels.
That really does.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is that it's often not just about the individual. The sources really stress that burnout is frequently rooted in the workplace itself.
How so?
Things like, feeling you have no control over your tasks or schedule, a constant workload imbalance, unclear expectations from management, or maybe just not enough support. Systemic stuff.
Okay, so it's bigger than just personal stress management. What does all this mean then? What are the wider impacts?
Well, the impact is pretty significant.
Right.
Personally, it ups your risk for serious health problems, depression, heart disease, even just getting sick more often.
Wow.
And professionally,
Mm.
it kills job satisfaction, obviously. And that leads to a huge economic burden. Think lost productivity, turnover costs for companies, and really for society as a whole.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. How can something like yoga actually help fight this kind of deep exhaustion? What's happening physiologically?
Yoga works directly on your body's stress systems. It helps dial down that fight or flight response, that sympathetic nervous system, and lowers cortisol, that main stress hormone.
Right, cortisol.
And at the same time, it activates the rest and digest function, the parasympathetic nervous system, which is crucial for recovery. It also gives a boost to positive neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin.
Feel-good chemicals.
Exactly. Plus, it builds that mind-body connection, helping you become more aware of what's going on internally.
So there's a real physical shift happening. What does the actual research show? Are there proven benefits for burnout?
Oh, absolutely. Research consistently shows yoga leads to significant drops in emotional exhaustion and that cynical feeling we talked about.
Okay.
And alongside that, increases in overall well-being, energy levels, confidence, even clear-mindedness. Some studies show even a short, 6-week yoga program can make a substantial difference.
6 weeks, that's quite fast.
Yeah.
So if yoga is tackling the physical and some of the mental, how does meditation fit in? How does it complement yoga in dealing with burnout?
Meditation really shines when it comes to the cognitive side. It's shown to improve focus, sharpen working memory, and support better decision-making.
Which are often the first things to go when you're burned out.
Precisely. It helps build what researchers call cognitive flexibility and cognitive resilience. Basically, your ability to think clearly and adapt even when you're under pressure.
And what about the emotional regulation aspect? Or I read something about actual brain changes.
Yes, that's right. Meditation is very effective at reducing stress, anxiety, and symptoms of depression. It helps foster emotional balance so you're less reactive to stressors.
Less reactivity, okay.
And neurobiologically, it's fascinating. It can decrease mind wandering by sort of quieting down the default mode network in the brain. That's the part active when you're ruminating or your thoughts are scattered.
Oh, interesting.
It can even lead to increased gray matter density in brain areas, key for attention and emotional regulation. And crucially, it often leads to much better sleep quality, which is vital for recovery from burnout.
Better sleep is huge. So putting these two together, yoga and meditation,
Yeah.
what's the combined power? What happens then?
Well, together they offer a really holistic restoration. You're addressing the physical, the mental, and the emotional aspects of burnout all at
A
once.
full package.
Exactly. And the synergy directly translates into things like increased job satisfaction, better work engagement, improved productivity. Companies like Salesforce and Deloitte, for example, have reported seeing benefits like enhanced creativity and more adaptive problem solving when they integrate these practices.
Real-world results, then. So for someone listening right now feeling overwhelmed, what can you practically do to start integrating these? What are some simple steps?
Our sources suggest starting really small is key. Maybe just a 5-minute daily meditation apps like Headspace or Calm are great for beginners.
Okay, 5 minutes. Manageable.
Definitely. Or incorporate mindful micro breaks during your workday. Just a minute to stretch or focus on your breath can interrupt that stress cycle. And specific restorative yoga poses are fantastic things like child's pose, legs up the wall, or corpse pose. They're designed to calm the nervous system.
Simple poses, easy to do at home. What about on the organizational side? How can workplaces help?
Organizations can play a huge role. Things like offering structured yoga or meditation programs, creating dedicated quiet spaces for employees, having leadership actually model these practices. That makes a big difference.
Leadership buy-in, right.
Yeah, and promoting mindful communication. But whether it's individual or organizational, the key is consistency. These practices have cumulative effects, offering long-term advantages in preventing burnout from happening again.
Right. It's not a quick fix, but a sustained practice.
Precisely.
So it seems clear then, yoga and meditation aren't just wellness trends. They are powerful, evidence-backed tools to really combat corporate burnout and build lasting career health.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember these practices aren't just about masking symptoms. They're about fundamentally changing how you perceive and cope with stress, how you thrive in demanding jobs. They're really a strategic investment in yourself and for companies in their people.
A strategic investment. I like that. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Consider how even a small, consistent shift in your daily routine, maybe just 5 minutes, could start to reshape your relationship with work. Moving beyond just enduring the challenges to actively cultivating, a deeper sense of purpose, creativity, and ultimately professional vitality.